Hold on, let me go live real quick. Okay, yo. So, okay, yo. So, alright, yo. Okay, I'll try and keep it down because I'm really awake right now. I wish I had closed the door because I would talk in there. But okay. So let's just start from the top, right? So August 15th was certainly a day, you know, um, and I want to explain why, right? Because let's explain. Yeah. So after all my streams the other day, right? Like, hello, I just having breakfast. Oh, that's what's up, Gotcha. That's what's up. Um, After my streams, all three of them, after my Mario video, my Rayman video, my Gohan video, um, I think it was like either I'm not gonna be on the internet for a long time. Trust me. Oh, you're not. You guys struggling like to pay the internet bill and shit? Cause I've been there. Cause I remember like me, Dad, and Louie losing internet for like a whole ass month. His dad couldn't pay the bill slash the internet shit was way too crazy to pay, and we lost out on like a whole month on the internet. Damn, boy, what? Damn, dude. Is it cause like you're not sleeping? Some I don't know. Hold on, just let me know in a minute. I gotta explain this. I gotta get this out there. Don't ask. Well, I guess thanks for letting me know, but anyways, so after all my streams yesterday, um, what is it? I think it was like maybe a couple hours later. I can't remember since everything happened kind of fast. But you guys know, like, because I mention it all the time on my channel, when my dad drinks and it becomes somewhat of a problem when he does. Me and Louie react the way we do because, for years, my dad's been drinking, getting us, taking one of us out of the room, go dance with him, go do shit we don't want to do with him, right? Right? A lot of the time when he was drunk years ago. Matter of fact, I would probably say throughout this whole channel's history, that was going on in the background, and I don't think I talked about it back then because, you know, I think I was more of a Bleach channel back then. But today, or not today, yesterday, uh, you know, my dad was blasting his music, doing the usual things that he'd be doing when he's like only drunk, right? And I think it was after like dad explained to us one time that he finally got into college. He got into college, all this other sort of shit. After that, like I think it was like an hour or two after that, like he just cranked up everything, like really loud ass music. You know, he's apparently hurting, all this other sort of stuff, right? And I was gonna go to sleep, while Louis was playing with like Chris and Dave and stuff, and or I went to go. Okay, let me reword it, right? Because it started out originally, okay, before the loud music and all that other sort of stuff happening. Like Pip coming in, tripping out, right? Because when my dad's off his rocker, like my dad's not normal, right? My dog Pip would not like that, so she would come scratching and come into our room for safety or whatever she would think, right? And usually whenever you know Pips know something's wrong, that means there's something wrong, right, with my dad or something like that, right? So I asked Dad, "Hey, Dad, you're all good? You good?" And Dad said, "Yeah, I'm good." And I'm like, "I don't know why, but Pip's tripping or some shit." And he was like, "I don't know why Pip's tripping." And I'm like, yeah, all right. I don't know why Pip's tripping either. And I think like a little bit later after that, or a while later, I went to go throw away my Diet Dr. Thunder bottle because Louis got me soda like Wednesday because he got paid big. That's why we even have Delta Room because he finally got paid like a decent check that he could fucking use. But what is it? Uh, I went to go throw my bottle away, and then Dad started asking me all these weird ass questions that I know he would only ask me if he was drunk or on something or whatever. Then that's when it started to kick in that my dad was drunk. But, anyways, my point is after all this stuff, after the talk with Johnny and everything, I was gonna go to sleep, right? But a part of me wanted to go confirm for myself, like, what the hell is wrong, right? Because, usually dad doesn't be doing this all the time or drinking all the time because of whatever, right? So I go out there to confirm what the hell is going on because as my dad's son, I'm worried about him. Or if there's something wrong, we could talk about it to some extent. So maybe I could understand, right? So when I got out there and started talking to my dad, it didn't turn into like a small conversation because all I wanted to know at first, all I wanted to know if my dad was doing okay. And, him blasting and shit and us starting a conversation, he was okay, but then I don't feel like he's okay. And this conversation turned into like a spiral because it was like, because when somebody's drunk, right, they're not completely in their right mind. So it's going to be weird. You're going to be bouncing from giggly, because my dad's a bouncy drunk. Like, he's giggly, right? He also can be really mad really quickly, but then really happy really quickly, or sad pretty quickly. So it's like he's bouncing through multiple different emotions here. And I'm just trying to. I don't know what this is. I don't know what my hand is doing, but like I'm trying to understand the whole circle because for years, right? I'm tired of like me and Louie being bothered by dad being drunk. You know what I mean? And I remember I talked to Chris about this last night. Chris was saying you guys have every right to be bothered by it because you guys have been dealing with it your whole lives in the right way or in the wrong way. You guys are in the right for feeling wrong about not wanting to deal with this and maybe sometimes dealing with it in the wrong way, etc., etc. Sorry, there's a car up there going off, and I'm also trying to make this vlog before Dad blasts his music again and stuff, so that way I at least upload something for you guys, with no loud shit in the back. And you guys know my dad has blasted music during my streams before, and I don't like it usually. But anyways, so I wanted to be, and by the way, sorry for not reading any comments. That sucks that you have to deal with people who are constantly get drunk or constantly say they're not going to be drunk, but then go back to it because of multiple other reasons and things that I guess I don't understand. But that's a whole different, well, not a whole different thing. It is on topic. But, anyways, as I was saying, and Lucas, this was all after we did our streams, by the way. We did the Gohan stream too, like a couple hours after it. So it wasn't even that long. But, anyways, um, trying to recollect my thoughts because it's still kind of hard to process everything. But after a while, like what I was trying to say is I'm tired of the just me. I don't know if Louis feels the same, but I'm tired of like me and Louis being afraid when Dad gets drunk. Because of like the loud music starts coming in and all this other sort of stuff, right? I'm tired of it all, right? I'm tired of it all, but I'm tired of being afraid of it all, right? And that's another reason why I decided to stay in the conversation with my dad while being drunk, while the music was blasting, is because I want to confront this. I want to stand up to it. I want to, not in like a mean way, but I want to approach it in a new light. You know what I mean? Because most of the time when my dad's drunk, obviously he doesn't, you know, physically touch us and all that other sort of shit. because when Louis hit that fan, that's when Dad was done like wrestling us and shit, like while he was drunk. Because when Louis hit that fan and he told his schoolroom teacher, I don't know why he didn't tell one of us, but he told his schoolroom teacher, and she called the cops on Dad, and that turned into something. So ever since then, Dad hasn't like wrestled us or even touched us when drunk, unless he's like trying to give a handshake and all that other sort of shit. Handshake or a hug. That's it. For the most part. But anyways, I'm and that's why I put the title the way that I did, because I want to deal with this in a new way, because I tried dealing with it by not interacting or just letting my fear take over or just letting myself not deal with this, maybe have an outburst or something. I don't know. I I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm only doing that so you can get away from me, but you get my point, right? I don't like being around drunk people, I don't like being around it, right? Never have, even since a young age, I really have not been liking that energy. And I'm 23, going to be 24 coming up in a couple of months, just, well, not a couple of months, but think about it. We're in August, September, October, November, December, January, like 6 months. Going into next year, 6 months, right? I'll be 24 years old. I'm about to be dealing with all sorts of people with all sorts of different energies. And what someday I'm about to be dealing with all sorts of different people with all sorts of different energies and all that other sort of shit, right? So I need to find a way, and this is what I said to myself last night, while I was talking with Dad. I want to find a way to be better than what I currently am at right now. And the reason I'm vlogging in the closet instead of just vlogging out there is because I don't know, this is like where I go to like fucking talk about my problems sometimes. If you guys remember, like all my vlogs used to be in the closet with the door shut. And I would have like the light on, so you guys could see me and we'd be talking in this little closet. I kind of wish I had a bigger closet. Matter of fact, I wish I had my own freaking uh, YouTube room, man. Honest. Also, bro, Louis up or he has a day off today. So when your father is drunk, you and Louis can go to restaurant or go to the park. Yeah. Hold on, Let me sit down right here because originally I wanted to do my Superman review, review the new Superman movie, but I don't know how long I got until my dad wakes up, starts maybe blasting shit because he was blasting shit. Keep in mind, guys, for like the rest of the day, you know, like the entire day going into the night last night, just blasting his playlist. When people blast music in their car, like, and you just hear it while walking by or walking past, or maybe you hear it right outside your house. That's what my dad was doing like all day yesterday. So I couldn't do no stream. I couldn't do nothing. And I'm talking blasting, bro. You can hear it from outside of the apartment room. You can hear it through our walls and stuff. And I didn't want to stream with that energy. And you guys are like needing to hear that or be involved in that. So, but anyways, back to what I was saying, right? Like me and my dad, we had one of the longest conversations we had. We talked about a lot of serious shit. We talked about a lot of dude, I'm gonna say this one time. I don't want to do anything anymore. I'm done. I'll just sleep all day to try to. Bro, wait. You know what? Now looking back, bro, I think um I think your parents are trying to get you to sleep, bro. Like I think that's what they might be doing. Cuz I remember Void mentioned a few times that he can't sleep, and he's mentioned it to me and Chris multiple times that he can't sleep. Nah, they don't care. What? So then what the hell? But God, that's confusing me because, well, then the only way I can answer it is like payments and bills, because that's the only way. Like I know, like shit like that happens. Like if they can't do it anymore, or if they're moving away somewhere where they don't have as good stuff or whatever. But anyways, I was gonna tell you, Dachi, that yeah, I could um go somewhere while Dad is just drunk for the rest of that time. I could go somewhere, but I think it's better that I face up to it and try and treat it like it's normal, you know? And I know this is a weird way to go about it. It isn't like a way a lot of people try to cope with it, because other people have different ways to cope with it. And I don't know. Because I remember I was talking to Chris and Dave about this last night, and they were saying, bro, if I was you, I don't even know where you get this strength from to resist talking to, like, just being so mad at your dad, like, for doing this shit all your life and shit, and all this other sort of stuff, and just, the amount of stuff I told them last night and stuff. Like, I don't know how the fuck you, like, keep this up, you know, or I don't know why you deal with this the way that you do, or something like that. All the above. Even my friend Dave was telling me, dude, I would be like, Dave and Chris, they're telling me what they think because I was asking for their opinions about it last night because Louis was on mic with them throughout all of this and whatnot. And, you know, I mean, I get it, you know, like Ronnie and Dave would just be so through the roof about this and stuff. And I'm through the roof about it too, but I try my best to, because usually how I want to solve a problem nowadays is I don't want to like get into a confrontation. Obviously that's due to many years of trying to confront the problem and either getting shut down or the question is dodged or there's no straight up answer. Like we talk about a different topic to avoid it. And this is something I really hate about older people. And I mean this, I seriously mean this. I really hate it, especially now. Like, it's funny because every time I try to talk to my dad about the problem or about a problem, you know, I don't like, I give dad, whenever I talk about my problems, the real answer, you know, so then I can move along with my fucking day in peace, right? Dad, on the other hand, whenever he has a problem, you know, he'll he'll either tell me, right? There's sometimes where he does tell me what's going on. He'll dodge me, maybe not tell me at all, maybe talk to me about myself, or just not even pay attention, or just drink it off. And I'm like, what is the deal with a lot of adults doing that? Like, I don't get it. Like, I can explain my universe, my problems, like, all the way through, but you guys want to dodge the question or dodge the problem. And that's a whole thing that bugs me. But more things that my dad mentioned, right, was like, there was like a talk about eras. Like, your era is so much easier than mine. Uh, like your area is so much easier than mine. I had it hard, I had it rough. You have it easy because you have so many different ways to make money or live or something like that. And there was convos about, his lover and you know, his lover Sandra and all that shit, and we talked about that for a while. There was a lot of things we talked about, and even ate a lot too. Like my dad was eating a lot of fucking bread and a lot of popcorn. Like I didn't know being drunk can give you the munchies that bad, but my dad had some serious munchies, y'all. Like it was crazy. But as a person who's had people who were drunk, it's best not to get near a drunk person. I don't know if your dad gets angry easily with the alcohol. It depends. It depends on what we're talking about, what we're doing, or if someone quote unquote starts it. Which is why I mentioned before, like I've been so afraid to really be around my dad when drunk because I essentially have nowhere to go, and I've talked about this multiple times. Is like, uh, whenever my dad does get like this, you know, I want my dad to be able to express himself to the fullest. But I feel like over the years he hasn't been able to do that because we would always get on my dad's case about him being drunk or about him doing this and that. I mean, shit. Now he's really starting to hide the bottle. He's drinking, but he's keeping it so low key that we don't even notice to the point like where he's hiding the bottle or he's doing all this other sort of shit. Like he says, I'm not going to drink anymore, but then 3 days later proceeds to buy a bottle um, and then like just drink in silence or just drink quietly or wait till we're both out or something, then drink a little bit, then get the fuck on or something. And I'm sitting there like, I don't understand, you know, because I don't drink. I never drink, even though there was that one time dad forced me to drink. But which I mentioned, which happened over a year or two ago that happened. But and it was in one of these vlogs, not like the event itself, but it was after the event, like after that night. But today it will be the Lego Shadow event. Oh fuck, Lego Shadow. I don't know if I want to be on Roblox, man. I heard about Roblox having a bunch is protecting pedophiles and stuff with their policies and saying to other YouTubers and other people saying like because what Roblox is doing right now apparently, and also they're apparently getting sued up the ass, right? I did research a little bit because I saw a lot of videos yesterday from Voice Critical, Asmongold, and a lot of others about Roblox protecting predators. And I'm like, Roblox is protecting predators? How? Right? And apparently they're protecting predators because they're going after YouTubers because YouTubers are taking it upon themselves for okay, YouTubers are taking it upon themselves and teaming up with other YouTubers to take down predators, right? So basically they would make an account, they would act like a kid so they can try and get predators arrested for what they say and how they do things and whatever. Roblox is seeing that and saying that is against the law, that is against our policy. We're going to act on that in protecting these predators. Right? Oh, not allowing YouTubers to do their thing and protect those people. It is weird. Which it's kind of making me not want to play for a while until Roblox gets this all figured out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about Roblox. I care about the good games. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I get that. There's a lot of people who don't care about the good. You know, they don't care about the company itself. They just care about the good games. You know, and I get that. I 100% understand that mentality. But at the same time, you got to understand this. There's a lot of people out there that don't feel like they're associating with that energy by consuming it, by doing it, or by playing it, or whatever, right? And what I mean by consuming it is like, for example, right? Let me give you a better example. This is a really good example. I want to settle down for a second. I don't know where to put my tablet, but basically, Samurai X, aka Rurouni Kenshin, that anime slash manga series. A lot of people when they found out the creator had a bunch of inappropriate manga, inappropriate stuff. Like, this dude was a pedo, right? Uh, right? Because people found out he was a pedo. Sorry for freezing up so much. I'm just still trying to process everything that happened last night, but also just waking up too. Um, since he was a pedo, right? There were so many people that didn't want to associate themselves with his manga anymore, with his anime anymore, and shit, because the creator of it ended up being like a pedophile. It's like, damn, I gave money to this guy buying his books, buying his stuff, and he went and spent it on that stuff. You know, it felt like I indirectly supported his inappropriate, disgusting needs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and this happens with YouTubers too. Like, when you support certain YouTubers and give them money and shit, you find out that they're this, they're that, or whatever, and it's like, fuck, I gave money to that. I indirectly supported this piece of shit, or indirectly means like, you know what I mean, all that other sort of stuff, right? But you get it. You get it though. I think you get it now. But for me, just games makes me happy, and if I don't play a game like right now, I'm depressive or passive. Hmm. I don't mind you having a conversation with your father. I'm glad you have the strength to have a conversation with him, but you need to be careful with your words when he's drunk. No, that Dachi, I know this. I know this with the utmost certainty. I spent like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, my entire life with the man. And he's been drunk throughout all of it. Sporadically, of course, not every day. Obviously, when we lived in this apartment, it happened way more often than previously when we were back in Santan. But you would get it. I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time with him. So I know, like, what he does sometimes. Not, like, everything he does, but I know how he acts. I know how he acts when he's normal. I know how he acts when he's drunk, on weed, maybe both. You know, I get how he is whenever he's in any of these states because I've been observing, been seeing with my own eyes, been experiencing with my own eyes, and how I should act, how I should approach, how should I do these things so I don't make the wrong decision because I grew up with Louis always making the wrong decisions and seeing all these other things, right? It's like I know what is a mistake, what's not a mistake. Which is why when I talked to Dad yesterday, I remembered not to make any sort of jabs or any sort of like mistake. Maybe there was a mistake I made, in the conversation, but I feel like sometimes when you talk to somebody, sometimes it's inevitable to make a mistake. And I feel like it's inevitable to make a mistake when conversating with a drunk person unless you're drunk yourself. So you can sort of like maybe get the vibe a little more, I guess. I don't know. Now I'm just talking kind of like out my ass, but you get it. If I talk to somebody like a friend, they make me a bit happy. I got you. Kind of like we are right now, but well, I mean, we're texting. You're texting, I'm replying, so it's like semi. I don't know how you get void when we're just when I'm streaming and stuff. I don't know, but excuse me, God, because originally I was gonna do the Superman video and other stuff, you know, and whatever, or some type of gameplay. I don't know, but and also one thing my dad did mention when he was drunk yesterday was he's not drinking out of sadness, he's drinking out of happiness. And then he also mentioned as well, like, I'm not sure if my son loves me he wasn't sure of my objective when I was talking with him. Like he thought I had some superior motive or alternative motive or something. It was weird. Like I said, the conversation went in so many different directions because we're on topic, we're bouncing on, bouncing off topic, all that stuff. It's just weird. I'm thinking of cutting my hair today. My hair has been sticking out like a sore thumb. I want to like trim it down. Nah, I'm depressed if I text. It doesn't help me. Really? Huh. But let me read Dachi's comment too. Off topic. At this point, I will stop playing Roblox because the company is protecting child snatchers, aka pedos. Where I just feel that I won't play that game anymore, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like because of this incident, it doesn't feel the same like that Roblox is trying to do. Like I remember playing Roblox. Like it was one of the best games I felt like ever in a long time for me because it was like look at that, a game I wasn't raging on, or look at that, there's a game that, you um, is allowing me to meet so many people or express some new type of feelings. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Gotta pop my hands since my hands kind of hurt. There you go. That's a better perspective. There you go. So you guys can focus on my head and see me a little bit. I just remember sitting up against this dresser with my fucked up hand because I hit the wall so hard over there. You know, but I also got to remember, right? You know, also like one of the reasons why my dad drinks, right, is because he gets stressed out. You know, because there's always so many things like on his plate that he has to deal with. And I know, oh God, here we go. We're talking about stress again. It almost sounds like an excuse at this point. I get it. You know, um, my dad has a lot going on, man. You know, like my dad has obviously has to think about what to pay off throughout the month, like his car payment, you know, all these bills that keep racking up every month. Uh, you know, uh, fucking school, like college is coming up, so he has to get ready for that this Thursday. He has to get ready to move out of this apartment so we can relocate, all that stuff. Alex, grow some muscles, FFS. No thanks. I've never been interested in working out. I just have not been interested, bro. Like, deeply just not interested in it. I remember, like, I haven't been interested in truly working out. I mean, there are times where I do go out on a run, or there are times where I do, like, work my body out so I can just sweat the shit out for the day or something. But other than that, I don't really care about gaining muscle. I think gaining muscle is overrated, in my opinion. Make gameplay video, edit them, and continue the grind. Yeah, I'll continue the grind, of course. Being strong is overrated? No, I wasn't saying being strong is overrated. Because there's a lot of ways you can be strong. You know? You can, it doesn't have to be muscle, but a lot of people like to focus on that, in my opinion. Right? And that's the thing I feel like we're, a lot of people kind of don't understand, right? Is that, whoops, my bad, there's, you touching me. But I feel like there is a lot more to strength than just uh So you want us to be weak and not be able to defend ourselves. That is not what I'm saying. If I was saying that, I would be implying that. I mean, you guys are basically just trying to tell me all that right now. Like, because you guys are not understanding what I'm saying. You guys aren't allowing me to speak. Right? What the fuck? Get away. Freaking thing over there. No, I'm trying to say that for me personally, I don't like working out. I don't like doing that stuff personally. I think. So, what strength are you talking about? Words? No, I think there's strength in many other places. Like, for example, like mental strength, right? Mental fortitude. I feel like that's strength I feel like everyone should have or strive to have, right? And obviously, your body can be one of those places of strength. I'm not trying to say that, oh no, I want everyone to be scrawny. I want everyone to be scrawny. It's just a me thing, right? How will that protect you? It can, because there's a lot of people that just need to be talked to. And sure, if physical altercation comes up, fine, then we'll settle it that way. But that should be the last way we deal with something. It shouldn't be the first. Unless the motherfucker is trying to charge at you or some other shit and starting it first, like right out the gate. Then okay, we need to take it to that level. But until then, you really don't need to. Because again, there's strength in multiple other ways, in multiple other there's strength, in my opinion, anyway, that in other places, like your mind, all that stuff. Words are not working anymore. Do you see the world we live in? Words are not working anymore. I would say I can see where you're coming from because there's a lot of people who try to talk. We have people shooting shooting up grocery stores, churches, schools. So we use words. You can, but like, because I would say, right, for every scenario, it requires a different action. Because let's say this, right? You say talking's not going to work, right? It's probably because you don't know the person, right? And there was a lot of instances, right? Or at least some instances, right? Where, yeah, okay, affirmative action, right, is an important one to take. But let's say this, right? You got a school shooter, and this school shooter, all he ever wanted was to be loved, right? All he wanted was to be loved. All he wanted was the world to pay attention to him for at least 5 minutes. Instead of people just beating him down constantly and all that other sort of stuff. You don't know the reasons why people act the way they do. I feel like there's a lot of people out there. So shoot up everybody. Not being asked, you should get the fuck out of this live stream, trolls. So shoot everybody up because no one loved him. No, I'm not trying to say he should do that, but a lot of people get pulled to that because, aka, no one is giving them the attention they probably deserve or need in order for them to keep going, which leads to these people pulling that type of stunt because we're not doing anything to encourage them or doing anything to encourage them in the right way or walk them down the right path. We ain't dealing with intelligent people anymore. Okay, that is true. We are dealing with people that are getting dumber and dumber, right? Because there is a lot of schools going on where a lot of schools are tired of teaching kids because these kids are getting dumber and dumber because they've been on their iPad longer and all that other shit. Watch the movie Idiocracy. It's coming to life. I've never heard of that movie, by the way, until just now. But honestly, I feel like it can go both ways, you know? And I do understand where you're coming from, right? Where people are literally deciding to do things because of these things. And honestly, yes, action is important to take. I'm not trying to deny that. But I also feel like, because, like, think about it. Does every cop start out, right? When they get to the incident, right? Do they start with violence firsthand? No. They tell them, please come out with your hands up, right? 90% of the time with cops, they do that. They try to talk, all right? They try to talk them out of it, slash talk them down real quick before the guns go blazing before they start it off. But most people don't do that today. Most people just start shooting anyway, right? Forcing the cops to go into action, right? Or the SWAT or other people to go into action. They do if you're black. Actually, I would argue, right? We are too far gone, bro, and I respect you calmly talking about it, but we will never get to a peaceful society anymore until we stop letting I think he meant stupid people think they are smart. Yeah, see, I think that yeah, I was about to say that's what you meant by that. They do if they're black. Frosco, let me explain. Let me explain that real quick. If they're racist cops and they've been born into a racist family, probably. You have like a 50-50 chance on that. But you got to understand, not all cops are going to shoot on sight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are misjudging our cops and our SWATs, all that. Because we have that one bad cop, or we have that one cop that goes above and beyond doing stupid shit, right? The cop's entire reputation is ruined because someone saw that one cop act out of line, you know. And I feel like we shouldn't judge all cops for that one cop's actions, you know. We should judge that cop as an individual, not as a unit. Because what if not every cop in there is racist or will shoot a black person on sight? That you know, but people have their views and I'll let them have their views. I'm not going to try and sit them down and try to control them like so many other people. I think that's sad, you know? But I do understand where you're coming from, John, you know? I respect you, bro. You seem like a guy who actually will hear everyone out and not force your ideas like the last streamer I just swiped on. They may not all be racist, but they all think they're better than anyone else. And I apologize for that streamer before I answer Cheetah's question and stuff. And John, I apologize, but there's a lot of streamers that aren't like me, man. I try to at least give everyone a fair shot before, you know what I mean? Like, if they're just being mean just to be mean, because I don't know why, but I can just tell, like, you as an individual anyway, you weren't coming in just being like a troll, in my opinion. I felt like you were just trying to get your point across and we were having like a conversation. That's what I felt like. Because I can easily see if someone's just trying to troll me and ruin the mood, right? I can see that from a mile away, but there's also other people that just want to talk about something and they just let them conversate. And you're definitely right. There's a lot of people who are idiots and won't and only want their own echo chamber, of the same ideology and the same viewpoint. There's something, you know, uh I never understood that. I never understood that personally. Like people just wanting to live in their own echo chambers. Like if you don't agree with somebody, that's okay. You don't have to hate them as a whole person because of it. But we live in a world like that. Nah, man. Nah, man, you don't have to apologize, lol. He was a clown. He was a guy dressed in Mickey Mouse Blood Gang member outfit, lol. What the fuck? There's more streamers that care about money. Way more streamers that only care about money than the actual people watching for who they are. And I think that's actually sad. Um, they don't care about the fucking effort anymore or the work that goes into streaming or the people that give them the money. I never understood that. That shit makes me flip out, you know? Like YouTubers only caring about the money, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give money this, money that," you know? It's all because of people. It's all because of viewers giving you their money. That's the whole reason you're rich. That's the whole reason you have who you are. God, you're annoying when you think, "Oh, money this, money that." Shit, I've gotten nearly $1,000 from YouTube. I'm being straight with y'all. Has that changed me? Fuck no. Sure, I may have been happy for payments at the end of the month, whenever I reached the threshold. You know, if I reached the threshold at the end of the month. Sometimes I would have to wait like 6 months, 7 months, 12 months for one payment, right? But I would be happy and I would know it's all because of everyone watching, watching the advertisements or donating, all that stuff. It isn't because of, oh, I streamed Five Nights at Freddy's for 5 minutes and got $1,000. No, it's because of people watching you, man. Why don't people understand that shit? You know, I actually, you actually earned my sub, bro. I respect intelligence. Have a great day, bro, and keep grinding. I'll be back. I'll see you later, John. Thank you so much for watching. As long as you did, man. Alex, are you getting pussies? Nope. I haven't. I mean, I do have a lot of chicks from time to time tell me that I'm cute in streams and stuff, but never any further than that because I'm trying to keep the streams neutral. You know. Plus, I don't know their age. I don't know if they're really a chick behind the screen. Sometimes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But back to what Cheetah was saying. They may not be all be racist, but they all think they're better than anyone else. For cops, you see, I would say for cops, right? I wouldn't say every cop like thinks um they're all better than everyone else. You know, a good amount of cops think they're better than the law. They're above the law. They're better than you because they're a cop and all that other sort of stuff. But um there's also a lot of good cops, a lot of genuine good cops, you know, which are probably getting outweighed by the really bad slash the really shitty cops on a regular basis. Which that's the sad part is that the genuine cops are probably getting fewer and fewer when more people want to join the force, and all that other sort of stuff. So, what I'm saying is true. There are good cops in there, but I feel like it's getting fewer and fewer as the years go along and stuff. Because people, when they want to join something, you never know their true motive until they show it. Looking like a young OJ Simpson? A young OJ Simpson, huh? No offense. You know, this is something me and Chris learned, or me and Chris thought of when people say no offense, right? Because people have been doing that slash saying that to people for years, and I feel like a lot of people who say that to other people, obviously you don't mean to offend them, but I feel like you still sort of take the stab at them anyway, even when you say no offense, like attached to your comment you're about to make. I feel like it still offends the person even the slightest bit, right? So like when you say no offense, you know, you're either way. I feel like you're still an asshole for saying it, right? Or In this case, I don't care. I've been called a lot of names on here, so I'm used to it. When you become a YouTuber or a streamer, you're about to be called a bunch of names. Like a bunch of names or a bunch of people somebody reminds them of. You might as well just say it outright. And that's what me and Chris say all the time is you might as well just say it outright. Like, ah, damn, you look like OJ Simpson, man. Or, damn, you look like a fucked up Tom Brady. Something. I don't know. What is that? Wow, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's just the logic, not the logic, but it's just how I felt. Me and Chris felt about it for a long time anyway, like no offense. Sometimes some people will be like none taken, depending on the scenario, right? But a lot of cases people say no offense, and then apply that. No, no, I meant in a good way. He's kind of a handsome guy. No, I got you, right? I know what you mean, uh but in a lot of cases when it's offensive anyway, like truly offensive. If it wasn't truly offensive, then you didn't need to put no offense, you know. At least I think so. Uh but because I don't know, because from what I've heard from people when they say no offense, it usually is about to offend you or something. Alex, you look like a Chad without muscles. Thank you. You know, thank you. Like I was trying to say way before John came in here, which he did have good points and he was valid for his points. And I mentioned, yes, action is needed. But for me personally, right, I do have some strength. Obviously, you may not think it because I'm scrawny, I'm skinny, and all that other sort of stuff. Yes, all right, I'm scrawny. I don't have a lot of muscle, but I know how to take care of myself if necessary. I just always try to avoid confrontation. I used to be about it a lot more when I was younger, but I'm growing older and I want to avoid, not because I'm afraid of people, but it's just that I don't want to just resort to violence right out the gate, you know? I feel like a lot of people are vicious today. A lot of people are um a lot of people are, I would say, brutal today, you know? They they always want to go for violence instead of talking things out first or just trying to solve it a completely different way by, hey, you know what, why don't we try to come up with a compromise? Like, they won't do any of that, you know. People are just looking for this, they're always trying to look for this. I feel like the truly strong people don't look for this. Why do you think the strong types, the actual strong types, are the silent ones? The ones that don't speak, the ones that don't enact that shit or don't enforce you need to do this 24/7. You need to put them dukes up and you need to start fucking swapping hands. You know what I'm saying? Only use these if absolutely necessary to get a job done or finish something up. If they enact on you first, people, don't do it because it's just instinct to start swinging. You know? Only do that when not when but when it's absolutely necessary to do it. And I get it. People have different scenarios and people are different, so they'll act. Alex, are you caught up on Bleach Styles Gear Blood War? No, I am not. Because I don't have Hulu anymore, so I can't. Or at least I don't think we have Hulu still. I gotta look at that. I gotta probably get on PS5 and try to look at that. I probably should do that right now. Like, get on PS5. Probably turn down the audio and get that looked at. Because I don't think we have Hulu. Because I remember. I'm trying. No, okay, let's just look. Let's see if we have it. Ooh. All right. God, our TV's so old. We've had this TV for like 10 years. Having our PS5. Man, PS5 is cool, but excuse me, I wonder what that PS6 is gonna be like. It better be a big. It's probably not even gonna be a big upgrade from the PS5. Let's see. Oh, we don't even have it in store. Okay, yeah, we don't have it. Yeah, we don't have it. Wait, Ronnie sent me voice messages? Was it logged to BB or something? What?
Hey, make sure you log into BBS, man. They got free summons going on right now, daily for every login and shit. So,
Yep, it was about BBS. Okay. Okay, but we don't have it. What happened to your PS4? It'll be like Nintendo Switch, probably. What happened to your PS4? My bad for reading that twice. When Louis got the PS5, what ended up happening was my dad's original PlayStation was getting so old. Like his PS4 was getting so old that uh, we decided since Louis got like a newer PlayStation because he used to have an older PlayStation 4, but then he got rid of it because it was getting older, way too old, and got himself a new one. Well, Dad still had his old one from like 10 plus years ago. And after that, after Louis got a PS5 because he really wanted to make the upgrade to the PS5 by saving up tons of checks, tons of payments, all that other sort of stuff, he decided to buy himself a PS5 and then give his new PS4, his newer PS4, to uh my dad. And keep in mind, my dad didn't. It wasn't really screaming for the upgrade, aka the PS5. So that's why he gave him his PS4. Um, bro, put dirt on. Put my dirt on. Put my shirt on. I gotta put on a shirt now. Look what you guys are making me do. All right, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over 100 today. I don't want to put one on. Man, I'm going to don't. Oh, I don't even have a shirt. Hope I didn't sweat through all of them yet. Let's see. I do not have that many options. I have some options, but I don't have many options. Because most of my shirts are dirty because I sweat easy. Like if I'm stressing out or tweaking out or something about something like a video game or whatever, I tend to sweat a lot. And it's not even just due to the heat. It's just due to if I do something, if I get crazy, if I get active. Here, let me sub to my Drit the Goat. Shirt on. Remember me on your other live stream? Yeah, I do. Do you have Discord on PS5? No, I do not. DDP or Kamaz? I've never heard of either one of those guys. Frost. Like I can put on a shirt or a long sleeve and shit, but I'm just wasting shirts. You know, that's more laundry me and Louie have to fucking do. By me wearing a shirt, which is why I don't wear them. Um, all the time anyway. I don't wear them all the time because of that mainly, and also I'm pretty. I'm comfortable with or without a shirt. It doesn't matter, but most of the time people know me as not wearing a shirt. PS6 will launch in late 2025 or early 2028. I feel like when PS6 launches, I don't know if as many people are about to be getting it as much as the PS5, man. Obviously, more people than the Switch 2 are about to get it, but I feel like there might be a lot of people that might hold off on the PS6. I might be hella wrong, but I feel like Louis won't be making that upgrade for a while, so it's gonna probably be a whole 100 something bucks higher. It'll be like the Switch 2, probably something like that. Or you can play your PS5 games on the go. And it's like, God damn it. What's up with everybody wanting to make a system that freaking, I don't know, that wants to be on the go? I don't get that. I mean, I get that, but I also don't get that. Like, leave that shit to probably like Nintendo or something, because they've been the goats at making handheld systems for more than the fucking, just for fucking decades. They've been the masters at it. Because I remember Xbox's weird ROG and PlayStation's weird other shit. Right? Like, it's weird. I don't know. I can't describe it. But yeah. I did a Ren NYT Fungo Pop. You did a Ren NYT Fungo Pop? I hope he sees that. Because I changed my profile because Void, I saw your shit and I was like, oh, that's a really cool Fungo Pop. You even got my hat here. Like this hat here. Which it is a little different that I wear it differently than most people. But, you know. It's fucking cool. Xbox becoming PC, true. I just want GTA 6 and Witcher 4. Fair enough. Ugh. Man. Just, honestly, after yesterday, I kind of want things just to cool down today. You know? Like, I go over to where, well, not where, but anyways, back to what I wanted to talk about forever ago, forever back, like when I made this vlog talking about me, just GTA 6, you'll need to be 18 to play it. Yeah, because they're going to ask for your, like, ID verification, so, like, when you get the game, just know you need to verify that you're 18 to play or try to get it through some other method or whatever to play GTA 6. Or something. Because game companies are getting tired of, you know, being um, probably told by other companies up the ass by parents and shit that this is too inappropriate, make it more kid friendly or something. So they're just gonna enforce it like every other part of the world. And honestly, I just missed it when video games had the creative freedom to do whatever they wanted, you know. And the people who were fans of it can be fans of it, and the people who weren't just weren't fans of it and just, you know, wanted to go consume something else that they liked. But now we live in a world where it's like if everything is not to that person's way, they're about to do all sorts of shit about it or something. Or they have a whole dedicated fandom that dick rides the YouTuber and doesn't think for themselves. So if that YouTuber hates the game, or Twitch streamer, or Kick streamer, or whatever, if they hate the game, their audience is going to hate the game, which depending on how big their audience are, they can either be not as that screwed, that they can be either not screwed over or pretty screwed over pretty fast nowadays. And video games got to try to go back and be on that similar page to, I don't know, so many other fucking things, and it's ridiculous. Like they have to try to keep it in the same standard, and it's weird. GTA 6 ain't coming out this year, probably not even next year. Yeah, because they keep delaying it over and over again because they're either A, trying to work in shit that will be the utmost things for GTA 6, or, yeah, they want to make sure there's no lag in any areas whatsoever or something. Or whatever. Late September 2026. Yeah, I gotcha. Which makes sense. But I was going to say this, right? This is what I originally wanted to conversate about. And, you know, about my dad and all that. Alex, you watched the new Superman? Yes, I did. I did watch the new Superman. I was originally going to do a review about it yesterday, but so many things happened, and you know, um, so many things happened yesterday, and about with my dad and stuff that I couldn't get to do it yesterday. 3D? No, not 3D. Not really good, but okay. I'll bring it up when I bring it up and stuff. What I liked, what I didn't like. Because I do have notes on it up there. Because I keep notes of what I write for my experience video from time to time. If it's about a movie anyway, and Ronnie wants me to live stream it, I gotta write it down. Otherwise, I'm about to be forgetting. Like, because when I make a my experience, right, when it comes to a video game, that's in my noggin for a lot longer than a movie, in my opinion. Uh, because for movies, right, it's harder for me to remember everything about a movie in comparison to like a video game or a show, because I can remember a show if I watched it so many goddamn times that I could recollect everything in my head multiple times, over and over again. It's easy because, I either remember it due to me being angry at it or me being happy about it and all that other sort of shit. I can remember that, for that period of time, and like for a day or 2 or 3 days or a week. I can remember it. A week's where I start like kind of losing it since I'm not thinking about it or whatever. But it's a whole thing. It's better than Man of Steel. Is it better than Man of Steel? I feel like it's more. It, that's confusing. I might have to do a review on Man of Steel too. Probably compare the movies. But which maybe I should just do it today. I should probably try to get Rennie online after this vlog and tell him, hey, let's do that Superman review. You know what I mean? I'll get you on the TV. We got to do it. But let's try not to be too loud because my dad's trying to sleep and Louie's trying to sleep and shit or whatever. Usually I probably would handle it right here, right now by myself, but since me and Ronnie watched the movie together and Ronnie wanted this to be more of a. Well, actually, no, this time he asked me if he wanted it to be a stream or a short, because originally I could have just made it into a short and uploaded that bitch, but I remember I said no, I'm going to do it as a stream because, we already kind of sort of talked about it, or we already sort of, I already started writing notes. I don't want to waste these pages on just a video that's not going to be a live or something or whatever. Because if it was going to be a short, I wouldn't have to really necessarily write notes since it's a 50-second short, and I don't have to really think about too much other than maybe talk about some bits that I liked and then just rate the movie overall in a short. Because short reviews, you can't really say your whole piece. You give it a little bit, a small bit of your opinion on the movie or just your opinion in the movie in 50 seconds, and boom, there you go. That's a short. But other than that, you can't really go in detail about scenes you liked or whatever. And since this Superman movie's really new, I can't really show any clips other than maybe the trailer or something for the Superman movie. You know what I mean? I can't really do much more than that. Mainly because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, or I don't want to get in trouble by, copyright, all that stuff. But yeah, maybe I should do that Superman movie review. That would be nice to start off my day. But I wanted to mention this vlog. I want to thank everybody for showing up too. That I want to try to be different with my dad when it comes to his drinking and stuff. I'm not trying to say I want to support him doing it to the point he does it so damn much. But I just don't want to be afraid of it anymore, and I want to confront it, and I want to have like a good time. When my dad is drunk, like it's not the end of the world, or I don't get paranoid over loud sounds of loud music from anybody. But my dad's like the worst of it or something because it's like right in my goddamn ear, you know? And I know people were saying earlier, like Dachi was saying, maybe y'all should just go somewhere, but we truly don't have anywhere we could go for like hours on end and then come back home. You know what I mean? We don't have that. The only thing we have is like us maybe going on a long walk. That's like the best we can do. It's just a long ass walk from home. That's all we can do, you know? Because around here, nobody really knows us. Nobody really wants to really hang out, you know? I mean, Louis making a lot of new friends, but we certainly don't like to drag other people into our own issues, you know? Like, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. So can I come over to your house and throw myself in on that, you know? Because other people got their own lives and their own energies, and I don't want to collide my energy if I ever did leave to them and all that other sort of stuff. I'd rather deal with it on my own by going on my own on a walk, which I did 2 to 3 times last night, or just 2 to 3 times that day, because I was trying to process everything like my dad was saying. Like, once was the mail, the second time was just I needed some fresh air, and then I went out late night. But that's a whole thing. But like I said, I don't want to be afraid of my dad being drunk anymore. I want to confront it. I want to treat it like it's something else, like I should have done many years ago. And I wish I did it sooner, but the fact that I'm trying now is really what matters. But then again, I do understand where Dachi and other people are coming from when they tell me, you know, hey, maybe you should do this instead of trying to confront or try to be normal around your dad when he's like this or whatever. Because people that are, you know, under the influence of alcohol are completely different people, you know, than when they are normally. So some of the shit they say is going to be truth. Other shit is going to be a lie. You don't know if they're saying the truth or a lie, or if they're just trying to lead you on, or all that other sort of stuff. I have no idea, right? But all I do know is that I need to be better about it. No, I don't drink at all. It's mainly because of my dad I don't drink. Because I seen the negative effects it does to people, and that made me not want to drink since I was extremely young. Sure, I may have dabbled in it here or there, but most of those times those were on accident or I was fucking stupid. Like, for example, when dad forced me to drink, you know, that one time over 2 years ago, like drink a shot of vodka and shit, which was the worst thing ever. It tastes like battery acid. There was that time I did dabble in it. There was a time where I drank mom's wine because I thought it really tasted like crushed grapes. Shit tasted like ass. And then there was one time I drank lean thinking that shit was Sprite. And that was a whole thing. Um, because I was a little ass kid and I didn't know better with the lean shit. I'm surprised I didn't get fucked up beyond belief after that, but I digress. It was like when my dad was hanging out with people I don't even remember. I don't even remember their names or their faces, but I don't think I ever saw them again after that. That party I think Dad had forever ago, back in Santan forever ago. But after that, but yeah, I don't drink because of all that stuff. And that's the whole reason why I think I've also handled it not as good back then too, because I would be angry because I'm like, you know the negative effects, Dad. You know what it's been doing to us over the years, yet you still do it. Why? You know what I mean? And again, I don't understand the life of an alcoholic. Sorry, my nose is bugging the fuck out of me when I talk about this. That's how you know I'm bothered by it. Drinking to me is not natural. Yeah, it feels unnatural. You know, and honestly, it is unnatural for a lot of people because it just doesn't feel normal. Yet over here in the States, we advertise that shit everywhere. Get your beer, get your drinks. Here in America, get your beer, get your drinks, get your stuff. It tastes like shit. I don't get it why people want that. Why not take juice? Why not take fucking a mixed juice drink or something? Why not take fucking milk? Why not take soda? Some stupid shit. Why not do that instead? I drink soda all the time. Well, what is so wrong with those drinks? Oh no, it isn't manly enough, so I gotta drink alcohol. Some people say there's a soothing side to it. Some people say it helps them relax. Some people say all the above, but I just never understood any of that. Because every time I've took a drink of something, it's never soothed me. It's always made me just go, get that shit out of my face. Get that out of here. You know? Do you smoke? Fuck no. I don't smoke because my mom died to smoking, pretty much. I've I used to like my mom and dad used to smoke so fucking much nicotine that like I would go to school smelling like cigarettes and ash, right? Like I would legit be going to school and literally everyone would be pointing out to me, someone smells like cigarettes. I have attempted it with my friend because I was a fucking idiot. But after that attempt, and after that one time I did put a cigarette butt in my mouth one time, I never did it again. You know? Because I thought it was fucking stupid. Again, another thing that's stupid. But then what really killed it, right? Slash, I never wanted to do it other than people making fun of me, was that my mom got fucking a stroke because of smoking so much cigarettes and not taking care of herself, not taking care of herself properly, you know? So she got a stroke because of that, and she got murked because of it. That's one of the big reasons my mom got murked. But um, people drink to suppress their frustration, and they lose vision, sense, control over their body. Yeah, I know that's why 90% of people drink, or a lot of people drink because of that. I never get it, but it's mainly because I don't really, probably don't pay bills, or I don't have to have a job, and or whatever. Maybe if I understood that by having my own place, having my own job. That's why I wish, like, that's why I never understood our government system. Like, if we don't pay on time, we go to jail. You know what I mean? You get jail time for not paying your bills, or you get kicked out for not paying your bills. You know? If you don't do this, you go to jail. You're treated as a fucking criminal, even though all you did was not pay your shit on time due to an accident, or due to you not having any money. Maybe if jobs actually provided enough money through the hard work people are doing, maybe we wouldn't be having this incident or situations for millions of people around the earth happening 24/7, 7 days a week. Or maybe if more rich people gave back to their respective communities, not to the richer communities, I mean to their respective communities, aka the poorer community, we wouldn't be having a lot of these problems. We'd probably be having a lot of workers doing a lot of things, this and that, but also with good pay too, not shitty pay. But yeah, um, good for you not to smoke. I never smoked. Yeah, smoking sucks. Cigarettes are still better than alcohol. Yeah, I hate all forms of smoking. I hate most forms of smoking, I should say. Smoking weed is probably the only one I'll let slide, but um, I really hate alcohol for obvious reasons. I hate alcohol. I hate like a lot of shit that will just fuck you up. I don't vibe with any of that, and I haven't vibed with any of that since I was a kid. And it's mainly, again, like I mentioned, it's due to my experience with my dad being drunk back in the day, like many years ago and stuff, and still kind of doing somewhat to this day. It's because of that. That's why I don't drink. That's why I don't smoke, you know? That's why I don't do any of these things. That's why I react the way I do, like scared. I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be nowhere near you when you're on this energy, you know. And I know my dad was saying we're family. We're supposed to be dealing with each other's issues, regardless of what the issue is. But I don't know, man. When you're drunk, you're not yourself, and it's a whole thing. But I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to be way less scared of that by starting with yesterday. I'm trying to be less scared, more approachable, more understanding of this drunken state you're in. You know, trying to understand all that better. And so far, I'm doing somewhat of an okay job. I even admitted to Dad that yes, I'm scared, but I'm doing my best to try and manage what the hell's going on here. I hope your dad leaves drinking. My dad has left drinking for a while, but he picked it back up multiple times. And I'm talking this is sporadic. Mainly due to either stress or due to fucking love or something. Because his love life is a mess. I don't know how his liver is. It's fine, I guess. I don't know. But, and one thing my dad told me not to do is just don't worry about him anymore, you know? Don't worry about me. You know, if I drink, I drink. It shouldn't concern you. You know, you should worry about yourself. And I'm like, easier said than done. You know, but I'll leave him alone if he wants to be left alone because what yesterday's experience sort of taught me, right? And this is like I would say a good and a bad thing. Probably more of a bad thing than good is to just not bother dad when he's in that state of mind. Just let him be because I guess he's just better at it dealing with it alone than me trying to conversate or me be with him or whatever. At least that's what I gathered, you know, or something. I don't know. And that's the thing, like when my dad's drunk, he's teaching me either the right or the wrong lessons, or the way my understanding works on it is either right or wrong. And then sometimes when I say it out loud, or is it wrong that I'm being taught this? Is it right I'm being taught this? I don't get it. And that's what I hate about drunkenness. It's never, I don't think when someone's drunk and you're trying to understand them, I don't think it's the point to fully understand it. I think the whole point of it is just to go along with it. And I think I come up with that conclusion years ago, but I did win with it, but I forcefully went with it, not just trying to, I don't, it's a whole thing. It's a big ass mental thing I gotta do, uh, and I just don't get it, you know, but maybe I wasn't supposed to. Um, I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, they try to forget bad stuff for a while, but it's a while what you get. Yeah, yeah. Man, what a stream, dude. Just talking my feels out because I needed this. I needed to talk about yesterday and stuff after the streams I did yesterday. Just to kind of, because usually, if I don't talk about it, it's going to not eat me alive, but it's going to be like on my mind. And that's why I talk about it. Because I realize talking about your feelings and talking about your emotions and how you feel that day or how you feel in the moment it allows you to kind of move on, you know, and continue without just constantly keeping it in and pulling each hair out to try and get it out through different ways and different meanings and your body language or whatever. But I just feel like if you just talk it out, like I am right now with you guys, it's gonna be better, you know. Because I already feel better about it, you know. Because today's a new day. You can't let the past damage today, you know. Oh yeah, you guys want to see this cool cosplay Zorosaur, bro? Look at this. Oh, I gotta stand up for this. I don't want to like accidentally do some shit. One. Oh. But yeah, look at this. Got this cool Zoro sword. But I'll show y'all for a little bit. One thing I really do not like about people. Get Tensa Zangetsu? I would, but I want to... Oh, hey Louie. Wow, this is awkward. I'm doing poses and stuff. But let me say something. And I mean this to anybody who owns a weapon. Or anything. Good morning. But this is something that bothers me to my core when people bring up weapons or show weapons, right? To other people, right? Whenever they talk about them, I feel like you need to approach it in the right way. Like, for example, when I mentioned you guys want to see a cool weapon, you know, I wanted to say you guys want to see something cool, right? I feel like that's one way to approach it, but I feel like this is the best way to approach it. Let me put this away real quick. Hey, do any of y'all feel comfortable with me showing my Roronoa Zoro cosplay sword? Right? Because there's a lot, and then you show it off, right? After people say, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, when they show off weapons, they're trying to show you to not fuck with them, right? It isn't about, oh, this weapon looks cool. You know, it's more of like, I'm unintentionally trying to threaten you not to fuck with me. You know? Or I'm trying to tell you that I own this and don't fuck with me. I feel like that is such the wrong way to approach someone about weapons, right? Unless you're like all about that with your friends and you guys gloat and glaze each other's weapons all day. But for someone like me, that if I see a weapon, you know, I'm intimidated by it, right? I'm afraid of that because I don't like weapons. I'm not really the biggest fan of weapons. I've always been a more fan of the hands. So when I see a weapon like a gun, because I do have a memory where a gun was point blank in my face, so I don't like weapons. Not just because of that reason, but I don't like weapons because mostly when people talk about it, they're like, you want to see my weapon? I'm going to threaten you with it. Or I want to show you that it's cool, but don't fuck with me type energy, like I mentioned earlier. They don't just say, yeah, it's a cool blade, and talk about it in like a normal sense, and all that other sort of stuff. But let me do a Virgil pose. Let me do that Virgil pose. Yo.
What up, Dante?
All that stuff, you know? I am the storm that's approaching. All that stuff. People always talk and show off their weapons in a wrong way, and I feel like we're not getting any better at it. But, bruh, it's fine. Well, no, I was saying, yeah, it's fine, but for a lot of other people, it may not be. And I feel like I mentioned, this is why I feel like when a lot of people like try to show off a weapon or show off anything, like you got to make sure it's cool with the other person first before you just straight up show it, or whatever. Because some people just show it without thinking that, and that's why I always, before I even make a decision to do something, I always like make sure to let y'all know I'm about to do this in some way, shape, or form. People are going to be more afraid of knives than your sword. Yeah, because they know it's an anime sword, so it's like, oh, it might not be real. And all that other sort of stuff, etc., etc. Judgment cut end, yep. I would play Devil May Cry, but I just can't play it for my fucking life. Or Bayonetta, I cannot play any of those type of games for my life. Maybe if I had the PS2 Jack Skellington game, that'd probably be the only Devil May Cry I'd want to put up with. Probably like that a lot more anyway. But, morning, Louie. Oh, yeah, you need to get up, huh? Well, no, you don't have work today.
Yes, I do.
What?
I have work at 11 to 4 today.
Today's not Sunday.
Today's Saturday.
Yeah, but you said you didn't have work on Saturday. We thought it was Sunday.
No.
What? Okay, that's it. You're done. You don't see this. Just... It's fucking. Oh, yeah, you need your stuff, right? You said you work at 11, you said? Alright, you might want to roll over there a lot more. There you go. Here's your garments. Here, I'll get you started. Alright, put that on, you'll be good. Because I have the camera right there. Oh. What? You want everyone to see you in your undies? We can have no shirts on the channel, but we gotta make sure we always have shorts. We're not VTubers, Lily. Move the camera. Yeah, I could move it like this, right? But I'd rather move Louis. So, he's moved. I might set my Wii back up, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't played Mario Kart in a couple of weeks. And I'm thinking about maybe going back or doing something on my Wii. I kind of miss my Wii a little bit, but I got so many ROM hacks and all this other cool Mario stuff, but I still haven't completed Mario Kart Wii yet, and you know, so that's a whole thing. I hope I have a copy of Mario Kart on Roblox. Oh yeah, that's right. You do have a copy of Mario Kart on Roblox. Roblox has all this shit, and then some. Yeah, I'm gonna need like 1 million of vitamin water. I'm drinking the regular version of Twist Up, aka Fake Ass Story. Pretty good. Alright. So, you know, I could play it with you. Yeah, you could play Mario Kart with me on there if you wanted. You know what? Sparkling water? No, Twist Up is a soda. Like an off-brand dollar soda from Walmart. You know those off-brand sodas and stuff? That's what Twist Up is. Twist Up, Dr. Thunder, Mountain Lightning, you know, all those off-brand sodas that kind of taste like the real deals, like, for example, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, respectively, all that stuff. Right? I'm going to see if I can get Renee online so we can just kind of hop in and do the Superman video, because I want to do the Superman video with him today. Let me get my notes out first. Part 2's notes, real quick. You know, because it's Superman 2025, right? So I got my notes for Superman 2025 right here that I'm probably going to read off of and all that other sort of stuff. I just need to make sure he's not on Grand's Blue or whatever. Yeah, they're both playing. Fuck. I gotta wait till after. Hey, whenever you're done playing Grand's Blue with Ambu, you know, kind of want to do that Superman video before my dad wakes up today, so just wanted to let you know in advance about that. Yeah. Kind of weird y'all see me do a voice message, but since it's close to 8 o'clock, I might as well log into BBS and do a little bit of that game. My remote doesn't work sometimes once I smack it, so you know what, we're gonna do a little BBS in this vlog today. Why did it not click? Yo, Bleach Brave Souls. Yes, sir. I still play. I still, do that. I'm busy vlogging, bro. Oh, what the hell? I thought he was in a... Hey.
Oh shit, I didn't think you were gonna come in, I just saw you go live.
Yeah, because I was, like, vlogging. I was like, what?
Nah, cause,
Yeah.
I heard that voice message and I immediately came in.
Yeah, because I was like, I did this vlog because I wanted to just talk about everything that happened yesterday and stuff.
I got it.
Yeah.
And you only have 197 orbs, that's crazy.
I have 227 now, but it's because I wasn't grinding for anything, just not really truly playing the game.
Yeah, I wasn't.
What?
I still have like, I think, 800.
10th anniversary special playable summons art bubble? That's a new way to show off characters using the actual models. What the Wait, go back again. Bro.
No, yeah, because they don't have like in-game. Like they're sorely based off the art. Excuse me.
I almost want it, but almost want to try and go for it, but I'm not.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Save it for something
Yeah. Let's see. Is this gonna be a 5? Wow, it was a 5. What the? Immediately. A dupe. Yep. A dupe Rukia. Can they fucking give me something like a goddamn? Oh yeah, I got 3 BBS tickets because I used all that stuff.
Yeah, but just let me know when you're ready for that. Makes it move real quick. I'm not ready.
Damn, I thought it was gonna be a. Yeah, all right. Since you're in here already,
Yeah, I'll be back. This vlog was not that long. Oh wait, no, never mind. You were what the? Hey, you've been live for an hour.
an hour 40. Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't I notice? Oh wait, well, my phone is off.
I don't think I shared this stream either, so.
No, I can't say if you did or not because again, my phone's been off.
I think I did. Did I? Bro, Louis.
They releasing another gacha game called Soul Resonance.
Soul
I
Residence.
think I've heard of that before.
Me too. Wasn't it like that 2D Bleach game?
Oh yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was.
God, I played a lot of Bleach mobile games in my day
No,
that
it
weren't
wasn't
even
2D.
official.
It wasn't 2D. It was 3D.
God, I'm still. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Bleach Mobile 3D right now. Like, that's one of my earliest Bleach gameplay videos, bro. But let me get you back.
Yeah, I'm wondering when it's gonna come out because it was talked about Bleach. So.
Yeah, I.
Or no, wasn't it a JP exclusive?
Actually, maybe I should just have your other controller for this one since.
Yeah, having me on the. I was gonna say this like in the Gohan stream too. I was
Yeah.
like, you probably should have just had Lucas on the controller.
Yeah.
It does make it a lot easier than having him on the TV. I
Yeah.
wish I didn't say all that when I heard like all that echo, bro. I wasn't even sure if I was still on the TV because I thought you were still streaming. So when I came in saying that happy birthday Lucas, how fine there, I really thought that I was on the TV.
No, you were. You were on the TV.
Oh.
Because I changed Lucas to TV midstream.
How did Louis not wake up from that shit?
I don't know. Its 3D visuals are console-like. Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole gimmick of that entire shit.
Might not play it, but maybe. I don't know.
It's a JP exclusive, I think. That's all I've been seeing about it.
Got you. Alright.
I just looked it up on YouTube.
Let me
watch like a YouTube short or something.
Let me get you going. Let me Wires Don't Talk. Ooh, this is a good video title. This is interesting. Look at this. Check this out.
Hey, what's up?
Lost. You don't need a dream to matter. What an interesting video. I don't think I ever thought of getting something like this in my recommended. I'm gonna check that video out, to be honest. I'm gonna put
You
that.
don't need a dream to matter. I mean,
I don't know why, but it caught my eye a little bit, so I want to at least
I understand that.
hear what it has to
But
say.
I was just gonna say like, I know I don't need a dream to matter, but I have a dream that I want to achieve.
Yeah.
So it's not like I use that to think that I matter. I know that I matter.
Yeah.
To a lot of people, and that's my whole thing. But
I got you.
Near Death Agent. Test. What the hell?
Let me try to Superman 2025. Yeah, see?
Oh. Yeah, the game's not out yet, but there is gonna be a public test for the game. We just don't know when.
Gotcha. Alright. So, I'm going to end this vlog. I'm going to get that Superman video rolling. And yeah, Ronnie says bye, y'all. And we're going to get started on this so we can get this done at least before.
Yeah, we'll be back.
stuff.
And then after that, I'm just gonna invite Ambu into the party.
Yeah. Bye.
Or I can do play with him. Bye.
Bye for now. Unless you want to watch Superman review, then I'll be back in a second. Yeah.
Oh, the Bucky game's not out yet?
Nope.